Hey, it's Uncle Joe with Uncle Joe Hikes. I'm up here in the Cohutta. We're over here by the Dyer Mountain Cemetery. There's the split here. This goes over to Potato Patch, I think, eventually, but goes down here to Jack's Fields. And that goes up to Flat Top, which is where we're going to go hike. I wanted to come out here. It's a long way from my house, so this is a hard place for me to get to any kind of, morning. So it's actually lunchtime now, but anyway, we're going to move up that way and short hike. But I wanted to come down here to Jack's River Fields and spot some camping opportunities and then get a little warm-up hike in because it's a little bit cold. It was 18 at the house this morning. We're probably in the 20s right here, upper 20s. I think down in Blue Ridge it's about 35. So anyway, gonna hike up here to Flat Top and see what it's about. So there's our little Benton MacKaye flag there. And of course we see the white diamond. So we make our way up. It'll be a bit of a climb. It's be good for a short hike. A little patch of ground cedar. Keep working our way up. After a good bit of climbing, we've came to a little bit of a dog leg here. We can see the far ridge. That may be Flat Top over there. Moving on. So the ground back through there is fairly distressed. I don't know if it's hogs or maybe wind coming up over this. It's a little bit of a gap almost, or a little bit of a ridge. I don't know. We're coming down in a little bit of a saddle here. Now we've been seeing remnants of snow. You can see some down little patches here and there. We've come across a few old patches. Looking across at the ridge, the camera's not going to pick it up, but there's a good bit left on the ground under the trees there too. So we make our way down a little bit of a saddle. We are kind of paralleling the road that goes up here. It's over here to our left somewhere, according to the track. But what fun would the road be? We can hike it. Anyway, I guess we're gonna go down here for a little bit and then pitch back up again. All right, there yonder. It's either an owl or a hawk. We might get to see him light out again. I think I see him. Well, it was getting a little steep back there. We can see some ice there on the side of the rock. We're working our way up. You can hear the snow crunching under my feet. So we get a little off camber here. Looking across, I think that's Pink Knob over there. And that gap may be Sassafras Gap. You can really see the snow through the trees over there. So we're making our way over that way. We got something raising sand out of back here. Oh well. Onward. Well, I just heard what I thought was it's either a limb snapping or a small caliber like a 22. It's pretty close. Hunting season's closed. This is a WMA, but I think firearms closed last weekend, so I don't know what they're out here doing. If it was a 22, squirrels maybe, but they'll all be on the ground, so kind of made a little noise. It may have just been a limb snapping or something, but Anyway, we're moving out across this snow. It's like maybe something went across here. You could see the disturbed, and it's also looks like maybe it slipped or laid or something there. I don't know. Maybe a grouse or something, I don't know. I don't see any human prints at all, so saw some horse prints back there, but they look to be pretty old. Plenty of ice though. So we've come to this little bit of a hairpin here. We gotta go up and make a bit of a loop. The summit's back over that way. Still going up. A lot of rock tripe on this rock here. Make our way through it. Ain't much in the way of prints on any of this. Some kind of scat, it looks like. It's pretty old. Pretty old. Being the end of hunting season, bears are probably in their dens. It's been so cold the last few days. Between that and getting chased around, they probably bedded up. Well, now this is interesting because we've got some kind of a mammal here. Maybe a coyote or a fox. Maybe a cat. It's hard to tell. The way they're gathered up, it might very well be a cat. Those are fairly distinct pads, but it could be a canine. But beside it, turkey. You can see the turkey prints going right out there. You can see this other animal right there with it. Fairly recent. So in the last, I don't know, few hours maybe. Yeah, looks like something's following that turkey. Yeah, my little turkey sandwich. Yeah, very, very prominent. Right there by my trekking pole. Still got the turkey, still got the turkey, still got whatever that is. That's pretty big right there. So I'm gonna go with probably a coyote. The turkey's utilizing this trail. The irony being that we're not far from the Pinhoti, and that's the trail blaze for the Pinhoti. It's like maybe right there, may have went off in yonder. I don't know. I don't see any more turkey tracks, but I see some other tracks. The turkey may have lit up on him, and he just had to keep on moving. Better luck next time. Well, we've seen tracks all the way. Looks like it may have lit up on this log here. Whatever it was. Came down here. Looks like maybe it stood here because it looks like that might be two prints together, like his front paws were together. Clearly, he drug across this and melted the snow. I don't know if it kept going or not. Yeah, looks like we still got some prints here. So here they are again. I don't know why this is so fascinating, but it is. Here we are at another log. You got some prints here. You got some smaller, maybe over there. Maybe drug something across that rock, like its belly, maybe? Or a tail? I don't know. We just made a little bit of a turn there, but these tracks keep going. You can see here where it came up and over this. Here we go. Whew. That's a bit of a climb. Well, flat top mountain. Here's the old slab. The steps, so you actually came up, well, this could be the back steps too, who knows, but got some more tracks there. Yeah, the old homestead. Benton MacKaye followed this old bed for a little while. I think this curved back around, and so it'll follow it and then peel off a little ways down. I think the road actually curves around and comes up this way. Just gonna walk down here a little piece and see if there's any other remnants of this place. Yeah, look over here. We got something over there in the ground. Maybe a cistern or something. Yeah, let's go have a look at that. Yeah, so you got a concrete. Could have been a well, I guess. It's awfully high up here on the hill, but I don't know. Could have been for a cellar, maybe. Just I don't know. Maybe a root cellar, I don't know. You wonder why it's called flat top, but you have to keep in mind that a lot of these trees were not here when people were living here. This big fellow was, some of these other big ones. So it's probably cleared out a good bit for them. May have had enough room for a small garden, but being on top of this mountain, that had to make for some cold winters. So we're getting some bona fide snow hiking as we're heading back down, of course, back through what we came up. It's kind of neat seeing those tracks. It kind of reminds me of that time I was hiking, I think it's Hare Creek, Hare Ridge, and then that West Fork Trail or whatever it was called. I'll have to put it down either at the end of this video or down in the comments, but I was seeing these tracks. I think it was coyote, just based on how prominent they were. And it was deep snow. It was a lot deeper than this. It's probably 5-6 inches of snow. And it had been drifting up and piling up down in there. And it was kind of neat following those. I followed those for a long ways up. And this kind of reminds me of that, you know, seeing the animals using the trails. Just kind of, I don't know, to me I just find it interesting. Well, the sun's getting on up there and starting to melt off some of this snow. Well, we're coming up out of that saddle, which means we got to climb a little bit. All right, we're back at our road here. You can hear a truck coming from down at the campground back there. Road's got a little bit of ice on it. Hasn't got a lot of sun, I guess, on this side yet. So you kind of need to walk in the duff over here so you don't slip and slide. Well, there's old Goby waiting patiently. Hopefully nobody broke in and got my game of lawn darts. You know, as dangerous as that game would clearly be, I don't recall a lot of people getting hurt with it. I don't know. Maybe because we figured out pretty quickly that you didn't want to be under one. Well, Benton MacKaye to Flat Top, starting here at the Dyer Mountain Cemetery. Done. Short hike. I'll put the particulars here at the bottom. Not a very long hike, but a good climb. So, you know, if you're going to do a short one, like I say, make some climbing in there, make up for lack of distance. But I did get to come back in here and see the camping situation there at the campground down the hill, and get an idea of how far back in here it is from this side. I've mountain biked a lot on the other side of the Cohutta, but this area in here I just haven't really been to, and it's time to get in here and start hiking some of these trails. So anyway, we're gonna get off this mountain and get us something to eat.